Hello, guys. Welcome back to MTAG TV. We're back with another live, a huge Premier League weekend. This Premier League is always big. There's never any small games. And I'm joined by another dream team. I got Ritvik in the house, Srini, and we have our debutant, Arnav Chawla's in the house. Welcome to the team, homie. Srini, I'm going to tee you off, man, and get us kicked off.
Yeah, Arnav. So, of course, a Manchester United fan making a debut on the channel. It is both a good and a bad thing, I can assume. But anyway, Arnav, a crazy game on the weekend between United and Spurs. You must be super happy with that performance. So, let me take your initial thoughts. What did you make of that display?
I think from United's point of view, it was the second half performance in particular. I would rank it as one of the top performances under Ole. And I think to come back from the disappointment of the disallowed goal, followed by the goal that Spurs scored, you can point it to individual errors from Lindelof and Bissaka not tracking. Son, come back from that, the change that Ole made, bringing Greenwood on. I think it was domination from start to finish, and they got what they deserved, totally deserved.
Yeah, totally. Ritvik, what are your thoughts on that? Again, a massive fixture, and United actually did dominate away from home, which they tend to do. So, what did you make of that performance as a whole? What did you make of Spurs in that game? What do you think?
I mean, classic United, classic Spurs, if I have a word. How many times have we seen Spurs bottle a lead or concede in the second half? And how many times have we seen United come back in the second half? It was just, if you could give me a scenario pre-game that this will happen, this was the most likely scenario. That United are going to make a comeback. They're going to go all guns blazing in the second half. And it was pretty evident because the worst thing about Mourinho is that even if he's leading, he'll play the same way. Even if he's conceded, he'll play the same way. Which does not make sense with the line he has, with the defense he has. So yeah, I think it's time for him to leave. But I think the biggest talking point about this game was that, just tell me, guys, have we lost the game? Is it still beautiful, Adi? What do you think?
What do you think?
I think you've come to the wrong person first because I'll go on a full tangent, but I'll
go for it. Go for it.
So discussing with you guys in the chat as well. For me, I don't think it's as clear and obvious as people think it is. It is a foul, don't get me wrong, but listen to my words carefully. It's a foul in the line of VAR this season. VAR this season has been, let's say, right. This foul could have been given left or right and has been given right VAR, if you're still understanding what I'm saying. So, in light of this season, it's the correct decision. Is it a foul? Is it soft? It's soft, but it's still a foul. It might be accidental, but it's still a foul. It can be given in other places of the pitch. You wouldn't see it given for a penalty, but it's not. We're not discussing a penalty type situation.
Okay, but you tell me, next game week, the same thing happens in another game and another referee does not give it a foul.
We actually don't have to wait till the next game week because it happened. Lo Celso had the same foul on Rashford and it wasn't given. Plus, as far as the decision is concerned, I think it's in McTominay's natural running action that he's flicked his hand. And so I don't see how it can be classified as a foul.
I understand your points. Sorry, I'll just come to you quickly. But I understand their points because putting a hand up to defend is something you're taught at as a player to almost shield the ball. So I completely get the outrage that, it's a foul, but you see how easily players go down in modern football when there's any contact on that face, that facial area. So I think correct decision might be very harsh, very, very harsh, but I think correct decision for me. But yeah, Srini, you were saying?
I'm just waiting for Son Heung-min to get his Oscar from Daniel Day-Lewis because I think it was absolutely terrible. It was just, it's shocking. I couldn't care less what VAR rules you introduce. Logic is logic. It's kind of like, we've all played football, right? And all of us, what we do whenever we're teeing up to take a shot, it's just a natural thing that your hand goes like this. If you don't know what I'm saying, Frank Lampard used to do that all the time. If a player's like behind you and it hits someone's face, that is not a foul. Like Scott McTominay has no idea that's happened. And for Son Heung-min to do that, fair enough, the goal's been disallowed. But there should be some logic when it comes to decisions. If we're so strict when it comes to these rules, again, then we shouldn't be complaining about anything. We shouldn't be complaining about the, offsides that happen due to the armpits and due to the skin and the, the sleeve of a player. Because again, we just accept the fact that it's logic, that's rule, and we move on. But clearly, it is not good enough. And I think United were really hard done by. And you know what? I totally agree with the outrage, because people can talk about how there's an agenda and United get favored, this and that, but let's be honest, it's the referees who just tend to mess up over and over and over again, and it affects everyone. And that's just the state of refereeing in the Premier League. So I think it was absolutely embarrassing from Son Heung-min. And I mean, what can you say about referees? So it is what it is, I suppose.
Just quickly touching on Spurs, I just want to come back to them. Yeah, so it was someone's something.
Yeah, just adding to what Srini said, Ole touched up upon that, and he said that the referees, they should be professional enough not to be conned by such disgraceful behavior from Heung-min Son. You've got to be competent enough to see it through, and he's got to be ashamed of himself, man. Rolling around like he's been hit by a truck.
It's terrible.
I don't get all the nice guy talk at all. Like, I've got no respect for him, man.
See, I think just to round this whole discussion off, the game's the game. That's all I would say. And if it can help you, sort of make sure that there's a disallowed goal, it's gamesmanship. It's not accepted. It's not something that sportsmen should do. But again, the game's the game. If my player were to do it, would I respect him? No. Would I be happy? Yes. So that's just the situation. But the only way to sum this whole thing up is referees should have logic and not behave like robots, because if they were to behave like robots, they'd probably make better decisions. So I think that sums up the whole decision. There's no right or wrong. It just is what it is. Adi, you were saying something?
Yeah, I mean, very good point by you again. I was just saying, I wanted to go on a bit of a Spurs tangent, and just quickly looking at the comments here now, I think it teased me up perfectly. I'm going to go for Anamaya's comment first. What do you make of Kane at Spurs? I'd say he's the player of the season in a very poor Big Six side. Do you think he'll be content with Spurs till 2024? Now, two things. This Spurs side is shocking to watch. I know Srini's gone off on tangents about them before. You would have never thought they're the home side last night. 1-0 up, and these guys go into their shell as if they're Burnley. I mean, we're going to go to Leeds City later, obviously. But the way Leeds played in the second half against City is Spurs in every game after they get a 1-0 lead. It is shocking football, typical Mourinho ball. I think I'm one of Mourinho's biggest advocates, but I think his time is up. And that means that Harry Kane's time is also up. What do you guys think? Arnav, let me go to you first.
So I agree with Anamya. He's actually stood out in a very poor side. He's probably got one player helping him out in Son and perhaps Ndombele from the midfield. And I just don't see how he's going to end his career there, or even stay till 2024 till the end of his peak. He's wasting his career, man. He's too good for that team. He could go to any big side in the world, win some trophies, have a legacy. Perhaps I think the only significant achievement he could have at Spurs is breaking Shearer's record. That's about it. And about Mourinho, I think you were talking about them being defensive at 1-1. I'd say they were even defensive at 1-1. They looked like they were absolutely delighted with the draw. They would have taken a point any day of the week. They were not trying to win the game at all. There was only one side trying to win the game yesterday.
Yeah, and Shri, go for it.
No, Ritvik, I actually want you to go first. You haven't talked in a while. Go on.
What I was saying is that have you guys seen the rumors? They say that Kane wants to leave. If they don't get the Champions League, he will leave, and it is very likely for them not to get the Champions League. If you look at their fixtures, they're playing Everton, City, and Leicester in the next 6 games, and I think they're going to lose all of them, frankly speaking. And I don't think Mourinho's time is just up in the Premier League. I think his time is up as a coach. It's done. It's high time.
He's dusted.
He's too stubborn. He's a
dinosaur.
Yeah.
He's Mr. T-Rex.
Wow, I love this.
He's that ex you block and never want to call back again.
Thankfully, I don't have any of those. But in the words of an absolute legend who's recently passed away, it's time to go! Because I think Harry Kane needs to leave that club first and foremost. I've been saving that joke for like 5 minutes. R.I.P. Claude, absolute legend. But yeah, man, see, I am not someone who calls players impractical when they take emotional decisions, because I don't know what a player's connection is with the club. So you can call Steven Gerrard impractical, but then again, he loves Liverpool. He's an absolute legend. Same for Alan Shearer. So if Harry Kane wants to take an emotional decision for himself, and he has really young children as well, he wants to stay in North London, fair enough. That's your personal decision. But from a footballing perspective, this team is showing no signs of growth. Jose Mourinho, people love to talk about how he's a serial winner and this and that, but there's no conversations around how Jose Mourinho has been absolutely awful for almost a decade. He spent enough money at a club like Tottenham. They took that 175 million loan from the Bank of England to basically fund Jose Mourinho and his passion project, which has been an absolute failure. Signs like Getson Fernandez, like we're forgetting guys like this. Bale could be signed on a free, but the amount of money they're paying for him, that practically is a big, massive signing. So you spend all that money, you have no philosophy. Harry Kane, you can only feel bad for the guy. And Harry Kane could break Shearer's record, but I think that's probably, arguably, even like probably the lowest achievement he could have because it's a personal achievement. It doesn't matter. You'd much rather win a bag of trophies, whether that's a La Liga or whether that's a Premier League, and have an actual legacy than this. You'll just be remembered like any boss Premier League striker like Les Ferdinand, instead of being remembered as probably arguably one of the greatest players on the planet, because this season is incredible. So that's my personal take. Ritvik, you were keen to say something?
I was saying that you've seen players who've been loyal throughout their career, right? Like we've seen the likes of Gerrard, we've seen the likes of Totti, but at the end of the day, both of them have won something, which obviously motivates you to stay for a little while. And even if you don't win, like you said, he's going to be dusted if he leaves. He needs to win something. And even if right now they go for a rebuild, right? He's 27, 28. Yeah. To get a rebuild, to get that squad integrated and actually challenge for a title, it takes 3 to 4 years, unless you're Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's gonna be 31, 32. You never know. Injuries catch up. What happens? And just another interesting thought that I just saw in the comments by my doppelganger who shares my name, called Ritvik Khanna with the W. He says, by the way, check out his blog and his website on Stadium Echo. He does great stuff. He promotes Indian football. Yeah. He says, I think Mourinho is now better suited as a national coach. What do you guys think? Adi?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
City connection.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's time to go into that national coach type of stream. I think he's done for club football. The fact that he's gone from Chelsea to Inter, Real, he's done it everywhere. He has an excellent CV as a coach, but I think being a national coach now is almost like a bit of a retirement type of job. No offense to the likes of Gareth Southgate and co, but yeah, I think national football is suited to him.
Yeah, totally. I think he should manage. He could potentially manage Portugal in the future. I think he's just. I always said that this was fantastic PR for Mourinho and his team to go to Sky, to come across as a very charming, intelligent man, which he is, and he is one of the GOATs. Let's not forget that. But at the minute, as we've mentioned, he is dusted. His tactics belong in 1955, and that just is what it is. And it happens with everyone. And you just hope that it's not as ugly as it looks right now, because Jose Mourinho's legacy has definitely been tarnished. You can't keep making so many mistakes and expect the public to sort of forgive you in a sense. So that's my take. Adi, you wanted to say something?
I actually have a question for whichever one of you wants to take this. So, Spurs in the League Cup final. Do you think winning that buys, first of all, Mourinho some time, maybe another half a season, 1 season? And also, more importantly, does it get Harry Kane another, let's say he doesn't leave in the summer and he maybe waits around, does it give him some thinking time? Who wants to take it?
Arnav, go for it, man.
Yeah, Arnav, go for it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a perfect example of something papering over the cracks if they manage to win the EFL and he's dancing around saying he's won Spurs a trophy after whatever 12, 13 years. Because I think the league and the league where you actually measure your progression, they are regressing under him, just like Arsenal are under Arteta. He had the FA Cup to paper over the cracks, and Mourinho might just have the League Cup to paper over the cracks. If you're not progressing in the league, then you're not progressing. This Spurs team, he might win the EFL Cup right now, but can you see Spurs challenging for the title, even challenging for the top 4 next couple of seasons? I personally can't. So papering over the cracks for me. Ritvik, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you've got it bang on. If he doesn't perform, if he doesn't deliver, I don't think he can. He's not at that level yet. And I seriously think even if he wins this EFL Cup, I don't think Spurs will stay with him. and I don't think Harry Kane will stay. That is what I think. Just because of how terrible they're performing, I think achieving European football is more important than winning the EFL Cup. Even if he qualifies for Europa after that, Champions League is first and foremost, and Harry Kane leaves if he doesn't win. That is it.
Man, I mean, is this even a question? I mean, does it buy them time? Does it buy Mourinho time? Sure, it does, because if you've watched the Amazon documentary, Daniel Levy is in love with Jose Mourinho for some strange reason. It's very sus, I'll be honest. But again, if Harry Kane wants to be emotional, sure, be my guest. I don't know Harry Kane, so I'm not going to comment on that. But what I will say is that if you're looking at it from a footballing perspective, if an EFL Cup gasses him up to be at a club for 4 or 5 years, then Harry Kane is probably an elite striker, but he does not have an elite mentality, because that's just absolutely shocking to me. I mean, anyone can win an EFL Cup. Let's be honest, we're City fans. We know what we're talking about. But to be honest, Harry Kane deserves the best. He is one of the best in the world. Let's not get this twisted. He's absolutely incredible. Like, the standard of this season when it comes to the top 6 has not been up there, but this season is. I mean, this is pretty close to that iconic Thierry Henry season, isn't it? So I think Harry Kane deserves better for himself, and I think he should leave the country, I would say, go to Madrid, start a new life, and probably win a La Liga. You get to play for one of the most prestigious clubs ever, even if Madrid are not where they are. I'm sure he won't go to Man City or Man United and, do an Alexis Sanchez or do a Robin van Persie. So, yeah, I think that he should leave for himself. I am a big fan of Harry Kane, and I can't keep watching this man. He's playing in a glorified Burnley side, to be honest. So that's my take. Adi, what do you think about this whole situation? Do you think that he should do a Gerrard and stay at Liverpool and not win enough trophies, or should he leave and win trophies and be an actual legend of the game?
People ask me this about Gerrard, his loyalty was never really rewarded, and I feel like he should have moved to a Chelsea when they came calling, or Madrid when they wanted to sign. Loyalty is not rewarded in modern football anymore. You need to go out there, make your name, stake your claim, get your trophies. Your careers are too short. I mean, yes, it's a 15-year career, but you're here to win silverware. People nowadays don't care whether you stuck to the same club for 15 years. That's a done era. So yes, I think he needs to go somewhere like Madrid. If PSG come calling, go there, play in the Liga. Even though they call it a farmers league, you're still going to win trophies. You're guaranteed almost 2-3 trophies. Well, if you're in Spain, you're competing just with almost just 2 teams. Less competition, you get more trophies. You're at the fag end of your career. What are you waiting for? Like, you've been doing this for almost 10 years in England to no fruition. So, I think time is running out. And yeah,
I have to say something.
Go ahead, Ritvik.
I feel Mourinho is that perfect toxic ex that gets Harry Kane to realize what he's done wrong, and he needs to leave. I don't think any
What makes you obsessed with exes today?
Yeah, what relationship problem are you going through, bro? Jesus,
I don't know,
man.
Quarantine's getting to him.
Yeah, man. Like one X reference, I was like, "Chalo, theek hai," that's kind of funny. 2 is kind of concerning. I mean, take care, buddy. But Arnav, yeah, man. Don't worry. All of us are down bad. But Arnav, I have a question for you. In that Spurs United game, we focused on Harry Kane. We focused on a lot of things that are sort of aside from the game. But what did you make of that Paul Pogba performance? I think he was sensational. I mean, and he gets criticized for not turning up in big games. I think he was quality. So what did you make of that?
I think it was absolutely unplayable, and the fact that Mourinho had to bring on Sissoko to double up on him is actually testimony to that. And I think he had that extra fire in his belly to show the man that he absolutely hates what he can do. He was unplayable, whether it was the dribble to get past Højbjerg. He sent Højbjerg back to Southampton for the Greenwood goal, his pass. And even before that, the pass to Cavani that was wrongly disallowed. And those are just some of the special moments. Apart from that, his overall game, I think he was one of his, again, just like I said for Ole, it was one of Pogba's best performances in recent times. And even Cavani, for that matter, I believe he deserves a shout out as well. Throughout the game, excellent movement, excellent finishing, had the shot saved which Fred converted, and the diving header. You could see how much he wanted it. He was already in the air. Most other strikers I know would have gone with their foot, but he's just one of those who put their head, others wouldn't put their feet. And he wanted it so much. He was quite pissed after his goal was disallowed. And I think either of them, you could give man of the match to either of them.
Adi, same question to you again. Cavani, he brought up Cavani, which is an interesting point. I thought he was excellent as well. So, what did you make of their performances?
Well, first of all, touching on Pogba, excellent performance. I'm also one of his bigger critics, very Graham Souness of me. But one thing, I think credit to Ole, he's got the best out of Pogba compared to any of United's previous managers. And that's also purely down to experimenting with him. The fact that he's not afraid to play him on almost as a winger in a 4-2-3-1 he plays on either side. Under even the likes of Mourinho, Pogba with that price tag, there's so much pressure for any United manager to play him in that pivot as a 6, as an 8, and it's good to experiment. That's got the best out of him to get that freedom to roam. The fact that he's got Bruno Fernandes with him to take that pressure off his shoulders complements him really well. And I think, again, I don't want to go on a Bruno tangent, but I think it's the best thing that could have happened to Pogba. And yes, he still has the injuries that niggle him here and there, but I think sky's the limit for him now. And finally, Paul Pogba is like lighting up the eyes on a regular basis.
Yeah, Ritvik, same question to you.
Well, I agree on that. He's been phenomenal this season. He is getting there, but I have a take on this. I think he's going to leave in the summer, which is why he's playing well, because you need to have a job and you have to play well for that. Moreover, the Euros are coming and he needs to be in the starting 11 and he needs to show that to his manager. That's why he's playing. I think he's one of those players. He's a bit like Riyad Mahrez. He'll play on his day. He'll be unplayable. But when he's not playing well, you can clearly see that. And since his price tag is so much, people point fingers. And he's always at the end of it. I mean, he might stay, he might not. I feel he's going to leave. But yeah, he's been phenomenal. And if he carries this form on towards the next season, I think United are very serious title contenders and European contenders with the financial backing they have. I know I'm a City fan, but you see Ole, I don't know. I didn't like him. I've changed my opinion on him. I didn't rate him at all initially. But
always.
Yeah, he's just 28 games, 27 out of 28 games. They've come back from
he's unbeaten away from home for anybody who doesn't know. 16 games in the league and he's unbeaten. I think we've got 3 fixtures left: Leeds, Wolves, and some other team. I think we could really go this season unbeaten away from home, which is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Just touching on Pogba again. I'm actually a massive Paul Pogba fan, and it's very annoying that he plays for Manchester United. Man. I love Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba was probably arguably my favorite player to watch at the World Cup. He is sensational. I actually think that shameless plug, but I wrote an article on aesthetic versus ability. And while Bruno has a lot of ability and he delivers, he's like a serial killer. He's like Mo Salah in that sense. He won't look sexy. He can't look scrappy, but he'll get you a goal. Pogba is the exact opposite. When he's on his day, he looks like he's from a different planet, and it was a joy to watch him. As Arnav rightly mentioned, he basically broke Højbjerg's legs. It was absolutely amazing. And Ndombele just looks like a diet Pogba in front of him. He is such an exceptional player. It's such a shame that Paul Pogba is just a bit of a meme when Paul Pogba could have been an outstanding midfielder, which he is, but his career doesn't say that, let's be honest. And I think he was just sensational to watch. I actually hope he moves so I can enjoy watching Paul Pogba again, because he was amazing. And see, the only issue with Paul Pogba is that I think Paul Pogba is a bit of a luxury player. That's my criticism of Paul Pogba. And luxury players cannot exist in modern football. Look at the likes of even Kevin De Bruyne. He has those amazing crosses, this and that, but that guy works like an absolute dog. You need to do that. You can't do that with Paul Pogba. He's had that protection at Juve. And of course, with Fred and McTominay playing in the double pivot, again, he gets protected, which is good. So if you want to get the best out of Paul Pogba, keep him happy and, just keep him protected on the pitch, because he'll ball out. And just a quick word on Cavani, again, that movement was exceptional. Sure, Dyer plays him onside a couple of times, and Joe Rodon, he's a young centre back. He takes a step back, but he is territorial. I didn't even care about his finishing. Like, his movement is sensational to watch. When you watch those goals back, you realize that he could be 50 years old, but that footballing brain just doesn't go. So that's my take on these things. Adi, you wanted to add a point?
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly ask a question to Arnav, and then we'll close the United Spurs chapter and take a few comments. Yeah. So Arnav, question for you: would you rather sell Pogba in this window, keeping in mind that he doesn't have as many suitors as maybe he would have had a year or two ago? Sell for money this year, and I think he's a free agent next year if he goes. Yeah. So would you? I mean, he's probably waiting to run down his contract, secure secure the bank basically next year if he goes for free.
Yeah.
But would you rather cash in that money now, this year, and maybe sign a striker? It could be Kane, it could be Haaland possibly. What would you do if you were Ole?
See, I think letting him go on a free is an absolute big no. So you either, I think if I were Ole, I'd give him two options. You either sign a new contract. So even if he wants to leave sometime later, we get some money for him, or you sell him for whatever 35-40 million you can fetch from that. Perhaps get Van de Beek more playing time, or buy another midfielder to replace him. And so yeah, just can't let him go on a free. He's too good for that, and I think we can still get about 40 million for him if we sell him this window, or get him tied to a new contract. It's a win-win situation in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, we're just going to take some comments before we move to Leicester, West Ham. Okay, Ritvik, do you want to take the comments? Should I go?
Go for it. Wait. Yeah.
Okay. AG says, agree with Adibir, McTominay's hand is too high for natural hand position. Don't get us started on this debate, but okay. Ronaldo 1, 2, 3, 1. Shout out to
Oh man, this guy.
one comment which I don't agree, but I haven't stopped laughing. I'm just going to skip you until you make some sense.
Yeah,
Kushan Arora says,
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I'm sorry. But Ronaldo 123 X, yaar, tera naam kya hai? You know, Ronaldo 123 Rocks is not on your Aadhaar card. I know that. So what is your name? We want to know. We love you. You're an enigma. You're always in the comments and you make us feel like we're famous. So let us know what your name is, first of all.
Petition to get Ronaldo 123 on the panel. Petition to get him on the panel.
Absolute legend. But Adi, sorry to interrupt you. Go on.
Okay. Kushan Arora says, Son surrounded by medical staff potentially to affect the VR decision. This is modern football. Milk everything to help it go your way. It's simple as anything. Anyone wants to add on that?
Yeah, just on that, I think the onus is on the referees to not condone that behavior. No, in fact, not encourage that behavior. If Son is going to get a goal disallowed for his antiques, then I think it's only going to encourage him to do it again. If you're not going to get conned by that, the players are going to be more responsible in the future. So I think the onus falls more on the referees than the players. That's my take.
Yeah, I mean, he said it perfectly, but I just think that referees tend to get a little emotional and they tend to be very reactive when they see these silly little things. I think you should be quite cold on the pitch and not give these decisions, because it's very obvious that nothing happened to Son. I could see it in real time, so I don't quite understand why these mistakes are happening. They're very inexcusable, and I hope that referees come out and explain these decisions, because they're getting away with murder. So that's
and referees have played football. It's not like they're a referee because they love the game so much. So they've played it, they know how it's played, and they're old school. They're not young referees, they're all old referees who are like 35-40 years old. So they've played old school football where the game was much tougher than what it is right now, and I seriously don't understand how, as you said, they go soft on them. They should really be cold. And what you said. Let's just take a few more comments here.
Okay.
Go on.
So Ananya Mishra says, I agree with Srini. Shearer is recognized as one of the best, but he isn't compared with the likes of Rooney/Henry. I reckon that's because of his Premier League titles and team achievements. I agree with you. Aguero is recognized because of his titles. If he doesn't have a title, he probably would have left 5 years ago, and he wouldn't have been where he is. Similarly to Rooney, similarly to Ronaldo, Henry. He perfectly sums it up. Harry Kane will only be, if he doesn't break Shearer's record, he'll just be one of the top 5. And that'll soon fade away and be replaced by someone else, like every record is. What do you guys think? Foden.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any more comments, guys, or do we move on to the next game? Because this is a big game. Actually, Kanav Sani has a very interesting comment, guys.
Can I please take this? Okay.
Yes, go for it. I'll read the comment, and I want you to answer this, Adi, since you want to give your take on this. Kanav Sani is saying, wait, I want to show your comment, actually. That's well done.
Dude, why don't you do this, Srini?
Dude, I know how to do this, man. I just
do this for most
and I'm like, cricket lives when the guys do it. What's wrong with me anyway? It's kind of annoying on the screen, guys, I'll be honest. But anyway, I'll give you your 15 minutes of fame like we were getting due to Ronaldo 123 Rocks. Anyway, Kanav Sani says, petition to add referee mics and VAR room footage. My God, that's controversial. Adi, what do you think?
Yes, and big yes. The A-League in Australia does this on a regular basis. And when you get, what are the pros and cons when you weigh it out? just hear me out, and then I want to go to you first to hear what you say. The pros with this are that the referees are put on the spot. They're less likely to make a decision that's rash or that's almost against the norm. So you wouldn't, for those VR decisions where it's almost by a fraction, those are offsides, those are actual. So they're supposed to do that. But the abstract decisions like this, like the ridiculous Son decision last night and McTominay one, those are the ones where they're scrutinized, they're put on the spot. And they're less likely, to make an error in regard to that. So I think it's very, very crucial that we add referee mics. So that there's no gray area, that we know this is why they've taken the decision. Because when they're in the ear, when they're watching the VR monitor, they're talking to the referees. They're saying something, discussing something. When the audience and millions around the world are listening to that, it makes you think, okay, I understand why he's taking that decision. Anyway, Srini, you want to say something?
No, I don't have a big take on this. The only thing I'm kind of worried about, just because we've seen so much rubbish with VAR in the Premier League, is that if they do give a reasoning behind it, I hope it's a reasoning that we can understand, because lots of times they come out with these crazy laws and rules that not even players know about. So as fans, I just hope that when they sort of clarify those decisions, like when we were talking about cricket off camera, when they do the DRS system, we can understand what's going on. We can follow it, and we're totally on track with what's going on, which is why when it's a wrong decision, it's just unexplainable. So I just hope that players in general and fans as well are briefed to a certain extent about the laws, if they can in some way, especially the players, because I tend not to understand a lot of VAR, honestly. I feel like I don't even understand football at this point. So it's not really me saying that it shouldn't happen. I'm just saying I hope the refs explain the rules properly, because they do it perfectly in the A-League. So that's my take. Shivang. Ritvik, what's your take?
Yes, perfectly what you said. I was just adding to that the reason I feel that we don't know much about these rules are because there's nobody that tells it to us properly. And if the referees actually talk in game, they'll discuss it with other referees and the VAR officials. They'll speak it out loud, and that repeated talking and interaction will actually help a lot of fans and a lot of players that tune in to watch those games to understand the game better and the rules better, which is what we need. Yes. Okay. Let's go on to another comment.
Arnav, did you want to add something to that?
I think Arnav
I was in. So if you guys have watched the PL review after the game, we've got Dermot Gallagher, who's an ex-referee, coming to. Yeah, don't you think he actually? Yeah, he uses a lot of jargon, but at least he makes you understand in terms of the technicalities why the decision was taken. So I believe, I think it's got to be a combination of what Srini and Adi said. So for the referee mics and VAR room footage, I want it just as much as the next person, but it's got to be preceded by a simplification of the rules that we have at the moment, whether it's handball, whether it's offside. Only if it's preceded by that is it going to be effective. Otherwise, again, we're going to be tied up in the jargon and nothing is going to make sense.
Agreed, totally agreed. All right, boys, I think we should move on to the next game. Guys, keep commenting, but we have to discuss a massive game between West Ham and Leicester. Jay Ling's masterclass, as per usual. My guy as well, man. I don't even care if he plays for United. Good for him, man. Really, really cool guy. Ritvik, I'll go to you for this one because you're absolutely gassed. What did you make of that game?
Man, David Moyes, he's unstoppable at the moment. And Jesse Lingard, he's unstoppable. Like, petition for Jesse Lingard to compete for the Ballon d'Or, man. Get him that trophy. He needs it. He needs to be up there. But another masterclass from West Ham, another masterclass from David Moyes. Brendan Rodgers, we thought would be the one to, who breaks that streak of David Moyes, who, gets him down. When we had our Premier League a month ago, Insta Live, we were talking about who's going to make it to the top 4, and I was the only one who said West Ham. All of you were like, nah, it's not going to happen. Look what David Moyes has done. He has, and West Ham's next fixtures, they only play Chelsea and Everton out of the top 9 teams in the next 8 fixtures. And they're most likely to make it. And I think, dude, they're going to the Champions League, and Jay Lings is going to win it for them. Just kidding.
Adi, what do you make of this? Sorry, you were completing a point.
No, I was just going to do the same thing. Just close it off and go to Adi.
Adi, what do you think?
I mean, so, touching on Ritvik's point about him saying they'll make top 4, it's, it reminds me of Leicester when they won the league. In the last 7-8 games, you're thinking, okay, they're going to slip up now. And West Ham is the same story where they're grinding out draws, wins. That the win against Wolves they grinded it out. This win, yes, they were 3 goals up. They're not the best right now defensively. Of course, Declan Rice is out as well. But for them to grind out those wins, get those 3 points, that's what this league is about. And that's what they're doing. And honestly, top 4 is looking pretty bad. I think that's a safe bet, man. Like, it's looking really, really scary. Arnav, your thoughts?
Yeah, touching upon Lingard, I think he's absolutely thriving under Moyes. He's, he's got rid of his mental issues and whatever he had going on personally, and he's enjoying his football again. He has a free role, and he's always been great at counter attacking. If he has space ahead of him, if he has grass to run at, he's always going to do well. And right now, I think confidence is one hell of a drug, and he's definitely overdosed on it. So Moyes, yeah, phenomenal job. I think once they get Rice back, they're gonna have a little more stability defensively, and I think they're an absolute contender for the top 4. If I were to put my money on it, I think they are gonna make it. What do you think, Srini?
Man, it's mad, man. Football is just this season. This is why I love this season. It's just one of those seasons where anything is happening, honestly. And I think first of all, I don't personally think West Ham were amazing in the game. That's not to take away anything from them. I think Leicester were very poor defensively. I mean, that second Jesse Lingard goal, I mean, what is going on, honestly? That was very poor. It's also, I mean, Jesse Lingard is sort of having a purple patch in the sense that that first shot, again, he kind of scuffed it, but it went in. But fair play. Jesse Lingard has scored, is it 8 goals in 9 games for West Ham, which is, of course, his best ever tally in the Premier League, which is just absolutely amazing to see. I mean, I'm not one who's going to gas the whole he should start for England conversation, but he deserves everything he's getting because he was going through a lot mentally. I think people were being absolute bullies with Jesse Lingard, even though he decided to open up, which is a very brave thing to do. And he's just been absolutely brilliant in that attacking midfield role. I think Jesse Lingard, like, he's seen as this baller because of his personality, but Jesse Lingard is actually someone who's going to put a lot of work in. Jesse Lingard is someone who's going to find a lot of space, and he's actually quite an intelligent footballer, and he's actually not that baller that you would perceive him to be because of his reputation and celebration. He's actually someone who could really be good in like a European game or something like that. And it's good to see the goals back that ability up and that intelligence up because, you know, he's just someone who's deserved just a little bit of love because he's just gone through so much hell. So, yeah, man, West Ham could make top 4 again. Just absolutely nuts. I would love to see it happen because that fan base does deserve it with of course, how loyal they are and with how absolutely awful their owners have been in general. So, yeah, good on West Ham and good on Jay Lings.
Beauty of the Prem.
Arnav again. Sorry to put you on the spot again, but do you think Lingard still has a future at United? I personally don't think so. Would you then, let's say he doesn't have a future, would you put him in it like maybe a swap deal with some money for Declan Rice, or do you ship him off somewhere else? What is your plan for him?
Yeah, so see, I think there's a lot of revisionism going on at the moment right now. People saying, United must have been the problem if he's performing well at West Ham. I think that's not the point. It's one thing playing for West Ham, another thing playing for Man United, because Man United are up against low blocks week in, week out. So you don't have a lot of space to run at, and you've got to find balls, you've got to find through balls and all of that. And I don't think that's what Lingard's forte is. He's much better suited to West Ham, and I think he's going to get more playing time. I think it's going to be beneficial for both sides if he goes to West Ham. Also, United have already got 2 number 10s in Bruno and Van de Beek, who are both technically better than Lingard. So if I were Ole, I would be looking at a Rice and Lingard swap. Perhaps let's say 30 million, 40 million plus Lingard for Rice, because I think it's an absolutely cracking deal for both sides. We get our much needed DM, and they get Lingard and they get some money.
But again, Rice wouldn't want to leave if they achieve the Champions League spot, and he wouldn't want to sell him because they just got him. He's just taken over Mark Noble, and they've signed Souček, but he can't play in that role. They need someone else. Mark Noble's going. I don't see it happening. It can happen, of course. You never know. Anything can happen in football, as they say. Yeah.
Sorry, Adi. If I were to draw an analogy here, I think it's like the Mahrez situation at Leicester, what Rice is having at West Ham. He knows it's not sustainable. Yeah, Leicester also played the Champions League, and West Ham might play the Champions League next season. But how often is he going to play in the Champions League with West Ham? Is he ever going to win the Premier League with West Ham? And is he ever going to challenge for the Champions League at West Ham? No. So I think it's the perfect time for him to move. He's at his peak. He can get his boyhood club some money doing that. I know he's from Chelsea's academy, but like whatever, he spent some good amount of time at West Ham now. So I think it makes perfect sense for him to move while he's at his peak rather than letting the chance go. Adi, what do you
Absolutely perfect answer. Exactly what I wanted to say. Arnav just summed it up. Absolutely perfect answer. It doesn't make sense. Exactly what you said. It's not sustainable. West Ham are not going to be competing for top 4 year in, year out.
Yeah.
Yes, this is one of those their peak years where you look back and say, wow, West Ham were amazing. But they're not going to sustain this for another 1, 2, 3 years. United is a safe bet. They're, irrespective, they're playing Champions League. So it's not like he's missing out on Champions League football. If he goes to United, he's going to be playing that next year anyway. So I think it just makes sense from a longevity of a career-wise and to play on a regular level with the best players. United is, I think it's a no-brainer. Srini, anything to add?
This is actually a very interesting conversation. I've just been sort of daydreaming about this conversation, and I imagine Declan Rice in a Bayern jersey for some reason, so I'm somewhere else. But I kind of, that's not happening. I'm not overrating him. He's a very good player, but whatever. But I think I kind of agree with both schools of thought. So I agree with Arnav when he says that it's not sustainable. But then the only fear I would have is, see, with United, even though I rate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, everyone knows that, I just think that board is so toxic that I would never back it to make sure that they challenge for the title. That's the problem in United. I would not be shocked if this board doesn't invest in the wrong players, and United finish 3rd next season. I would not be shocked at all. And while that's still great for someone like Declan Rice, who's going to a big club, he's going to be on amazing money, this and that, still the opportunity of playing with West Ham United in the Champions League for one season, again, it's that emotion versus pragmatism conversation again. I personally, if I was Declan Rice, I would play that season. Just because why not? You never get that opportunity again. And he is someone who's improving over time, and he can get to a fantastic club in the space of 1 or 2 years. So I don't think, like with Mahrez, I think he was in his late 20s, so he had to move. He had to make that move.
Yeah, very good
Declan
point.
Rice doesn't have that. Declan Rice can have his pick of clubs, because let's be honest, N'Golo Kante after this season may deteriorate. Of course, Chelsea don't want him, but I'm just saying it's an option. Manchester United, then again, you never know. They could still have Scott McTominay playing there, and they could get an upgrade. So I don't. City as well. I mean, we have Rodri right now, but he's not like a Fernandinho where he's indispensable. We could go in for him in like a year or two. So like he could go right now, but then again, I don't think Manchester United guarantees you a title because of the board, not because of the manager, not because of the personnel. So if you're a football man, like if we are football men, we know how this game works. Arnav knows as well as we do that he won't bank on United to challenge for the title, because that's how they are. Imagine if they had Jadon Sancho this season. I know Jadon Sancho's not had his best year, but Jadon Sancho has also gone through a lot mentally. So it's a mixed conversation. If I was Declan Rice, I wouldn't know what to do. So that's my take. Arnav?
Yeah, Jadon Sancho, if you ask Ritvik, I told him like last summer, I told him we get Sancho with challenging for the title, and I'm absolutely right, because it not only solves the right winger problem, it helps us retain the ball more, helps us be more balanced, because right now we're so lopsided. Most of our attacks are focused through Rashford and Shaw, because on the right side we've neither got a proper right winger nor have we got an attacking right back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a problem that could have been solved. Coming back to Rice, I think again I get your point, but would you take that risk? You know, right now West Ham are in the top 4. He's getting noticed. He's probably going to be playing the Euros. Let's say next season West Ham's he tries to play the Champions League with West Ham. West Ham, which I think they will eventually have a slump. They go back into mid-table. The Euros are over, and the recognition is over. Then he's not getting noticed anymore. And let's say United fill that CDM spot with someone else, someone from another league or someone, and he's essentially lost that opportunity. Even if he's not guaranteed a title at United, at least he's guaranteed a better shot at it than he's going to have at West Ham. So I personally don't think it's worth the risk from a pragmatic point of view. But yeah, for emotional reasons, if he wants to play in the Champions League with West Ham, then he can of course do it.
So just one thing that I would add is, and again, this is not me being biased, I'm actually being honest. If I was Declan Rice, and if Man City came for me, I'm going tomorrow. I'm doing a Timo Werner. I'm not even playing in the Champions League. I'd be that ruthless, because I know that even if City were not to win a title the season I go, they'll win a title the next season, because they'll invest enough, and Pep Guardiola, this and that. That's my only thing with United. I totally agree with you. You probably should go, But United are a very, very risky club. I would not be surprised if next season they finish third just because of that board. So I would go, but then again, anything can happen. I don't trust Manchester United. So
yeah, and how many players have we seen go to City just for that? We've seen Nathan Ake this season. Laporte went when they had 2 centre backs, 3 centre backs. Their depth people. I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, football is a trophy business. You go there to win trophies, and as you said rightly, City is the perfect club for him. But then you never know what might happen. This is a 50-50 debate. Does anyone want to say?
These two City fans talking about trophies, just get out.
Okay, I think question for you on that topic, right? Would you, as a player, would you like to do what Nathan Ake has done? It's too soon to say, but essentially move to a big club, contribute jack shit, but win trophies for the sake of it. Or would you actually move to a club where you have let Adi take this and then you can come to it. Or would you actually move to a club where you're solving a problem, where there is, say, a role for you, and then perhaps trying to win a trophy, even if it's less of a guarantee?
Good question. I would definitely take the latter. I know it sounds that the game is about trophies and all, but ultimately, when you look at your career, someone like Nathan Ake, let's say he ends his career today, he's done absolutely nothing of substance. What is he going to look back at and be satisfied with? Would I rather be a Harry Kane who will win nothing potentially and have this illustrious career and give his all for one club? I would rather be that than someone who's just like dispensable. He's just a cog in the machine basically for a team that just wants to win trophies and lose. Yeah, Srini, let me know your thoughts. You seem very frustrated by this question. Let it out.
No. Ekta, I'll be honest, guys. I'm sweating. There's no fan here, right? And it's an absolute joke. So there's that. But see, on the Nathan Ake situation, because I saw this on a show recently as well, which is why I wanted to butt in. Nathan Ake has been injured all season. So him chilling and not doing anything is a non-factor. It's kind of like, and that's why he's been so quiet. He's not even like Benjamin Mendy, where he's funny on the gram or something like that. Like, he's been quiet because he's been injured. And he's been injured like multiple times as well. So if I was, the question that Arnav asked, if I was a footballer, I'd obviously go somewhere where I could contribute. So I agree with that. I don't agree with Adi on going to somewhere and you have an amazing life. You do nothing. You'll be a non-factor. And football is not an actual job. So thinking that practically, I don't think is the smartest way to go. But if I was Nathan Ake, I would 100% move to City because you'll never get that opportunity. Harry Kane, he'll bang goals next season. Another team come for him, and again and again and again. Even Declan Rice to an extent. Nathan Ake will never get that opportunity. He got relegated to Bournemouth. So, I mean, I understand why he's gone there, and he's been extremely unlucky. I'm sure he doesn't want to win this title in a sense because he's, as you said, he's done nothing. So yeah, man, I kind of feel bad for players that get injured. So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, I wanna add to this. So a similar situation with Ozan Kabak. Okay, he was getting relegated. He knew that. He came to Liverpool. He's playing in the Champions League. Like that is what they dream of. Nights like these. Ake has played Champions League football. He might never get to play Champions League football for another team. He's not of that level yet. And in a team like City and Liverpool, where you need to perform week in, week out, midweek games, they have so many games per season. If you prove your worth, you're not going out of the team. We've seen that with so many players. We've seen Aguero being benched for half of the season when Jesus was in form. So that's what happens in these competitive clubs. And if you get the chance, and of course, every player wants to prove himself, right? Imagine proving yourself at the biggest club, at the biggest stage in that position. So you moved.
I feel like Ake wasn't the perfect example so to say, because it's too soon in his career anyway. But I think you guys got the point that I was trying to make.
Yeah.
I think for that same reason, if I were Declan Rice, I would prefer moving to United than to City because there's a guaranteed starting spot for me. It's no joke replacing Rodri or Ronaldinho.
Yeah. Okay. These debates will go on forever.
Yeah, they'll go on forever.
Very interesting comments. Let's address those first. So Anamya Mishra says Leicester falling off again this season. They're 4 points off Liverpool, who are in 6th. They have United, Chelsea, and Spurs in the final 3 games. I completely agree with you. I think they're going to bottle it. Their last 3 games are terrible. They're not. I don't want them to because they're my, my
second club.
Yeah, they're my not second club. They're my जो भी है, but है थोड़ा. You like underdogs, right? We all love underdog stories. So they're my football manager club. I manage them in Football Manager. I've played 5 seasons with them. I've won the Champions League. It's like there's an attachment, but yeah, I don't see them getting there. I see Liverpool getting there just because they have only United to play out of the top 9 teams, and they have very easy fixtures. Yeah, and yeah, what do you guys think about this?
Who's going first? Adi, go first, man. Go for it. Adi, go for it.
Okay. Well, see, Leicester last year, I think they learned their lesson. After the restart, they had a shambolic final, whatever, 6, 7 games, 8 games, whatever it was. And they were prime position. At one point, they were the only competition to Liverpool for the title. Remember, that was a phase. And for them to then just fall away the way they did, let United and Chelsea through, I think they probably learned from that. And I still think they're going to get top 4. I think they'll squeeze in still at third. I think 4th is left between Chelsea and Liverpool. So, yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah.
You think Leicester's going to be third?
I think so.
You think West Ham are going to? You think West Ham
have a top 4 prediction from everyone?
I think, okay, so we'll do the top 4 right at the end because that's a very juicy debate. Arnav, do you have anything on Leicester right now?
Sorry?
Did you have anything to add on Leicester right now?
I think we'll just pick it up while we're doing the top 4 thing. Let's move on to Liverpool, Villa, or City Leeds before that.
Right, okay. I just want to quickly take a few more comments before we go because we have a lot of comments. Keep them coming, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, love it. Yeah.
Okay. Aditya G says, you got to respect Kufal's work rates. Agreed. Very good player and very efficient.
Absolute baller.
Kanav Sani says, swap with Rice. Okay. I think you got to agree. Anubhav Sarkar also says 20 million pounds plus Declan Rice for Lingard. I think that's a good deal. Everyone would take that. Aditya G says,
West Ham probably won't.
Yeah, 20 is too little.
If Aditya G says, if this was a 60-second debate, Srini wins. Guys, we have a 60-second debate video on our channel. Make sure you check it out and remember who got the 2 wins. It was this guy.
These guys bully me because I'm younger than them. That's all.
Bust. This guys, cricket reference. This was Steve Buckner, India, Australia. If you know, you know. Anyway, let's move. Yeah.
Okay.
Adi doesn't know. Adi ne ek
I have no idea what you're talking about. Falls in line with our next question perfectly. Ronaldo123 Rock says, off-topic question: which is your favorite IPL team? We don't discuss cricket here.
Why not?
Cricket is
I
not
want to
sport.
know who everyone supports in the IPL. Why not? Let's go. It doesn't matter.
Cricket is not sport, guys. Just saying. Okay.
Oh God. I wanted to know. Chalo, koi nahi. Anyway.
Which team?
Me?
Yeah.
But guys, off-topic story. Once I think I was in 7th or 8th, and I bunked my tuition, right, to watch a Chennai Super Kings game because I was a massive fan. And my mom called my tuition teacher, and she found out that I was bunking, and she hit me on the head with a heel. So that's my fun IPL story. So yeah, great.
That's what you get watching cricket, guys. Don't watch cricket.
Game's the game. Anyway,
move in. Yeah, Ritvik, you was.
Okay, yeah. Adi wants this question to die.
Which question?
We're only stretching it to piss off Adi.
Yeah, I was a massive Rahul Dravid fan, so I started supporting RCB initially. So yeah, RCB is one of them, and I love AB de Villiers. And of course, I mean Delhi, because we live in Delhi, obviously.
Yeah, Delhi for me. Yeah. Delhi, they'll say Delhi. And
I'm booting Ritvik off. There's an IPL live going on the same channel. Ritvik is getting booted off.
It is. Anyway, go on. Sorry. We're just joking around.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay, we're going to slowly transition into, should we go to Chelsea or should we go to Liverpool? What do you guys want to do first?
I think let's do Liverpool. You seem bumped up. You seem on the, you seem angry. You want to get those words out. So Liverpool, another comeback. We didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. What do you think?
Well, I mean, exactly what you said. I didn't expect it. It was a good game for Liverpool, don't get me wrong. It seemed a bit like vintage Liverpool. All-out attacking football. They had the majority of the ball. When Villa scored, you just think, man, here we go again. I was actually surprised. We had a goal chalked off again incorrectly. We are doing its same shambolic nonsense. I was surprised when we scored our equalizer. And I thought, okay, game is done. Pretty bleak. I would have actually taken a point. I'm not even going to lie, because we've had 6 home defeats in a row, and the fact that I'm saying I take a point at home at Anfield just shows you how bad our season has been. but for Trent Alexander-Arnold. First of all, this Trent does not deserve to go to the Euros. I'm going to make that very clear right now. I'm not a delusional, biased Liverpool fan. He didn't have a great performance, but to score that goal, absolutely clutch. What a finish! What a right back. Stick this guy into midfield, okay? He's not a right back. He's a central midfielder.
Don't say what a right back. Say what a player.
I have a no. I just want to ask you. Did you said he shouldn't go to the Euros?
I say he should go to
Yeah,
the
he's
Euros.
good.
Okay.
Credit to
Chalo,
Adib
keep
for
going.
being
Keep going. I
biased.
won't interrupt you.
Don't
Keep
get me
going.
wrong.
Keep going. It's your team. It's your team.
Maybe not going to the Euros of a stretch. Kyle Walker is hands down number one right back. I think Trent
that's
offers
true.
something different. He's an X factor, but he doesn't deserve to start the big games for me. But again, Euros debate we're going to put to the side completely for now.
Yeah, definitely.
Liverpool, not straightforward, but 3 points and picking up some good form going into Madrid. Anything you guys want to add?
Arnav, go for it.
Yeah, I think it's good of them to break the losing streak that they had at home, and the fixtures seem pretty favorable for Liverpool. And I think they're going to be bowing out of the Champions League this week, midweek. That's going to make top four like the top priority for them. And with the fixtures they have, and I think Salah, Jota picking up form, Fabinho solving the DM problems, I think that they are going to get top four. I think. Do you guys want to take on Alisson and the kind of mistakes he's been making of late?
Yeah, I don't mind that actually. You know what? I would not be harsh on Alisson at all. That's my take on it. Two reasons. One reason is Alisson is so consistent, it's unreal. I mean, that's why whenever someone asks me in general who's the better keeper, Alisson, Edinson, I always say Alisson because ability-wise they're the same, but Alisson is just supremely consistent. That's one. B, with what Alisson has gone through recently, the fact that he's even coming out to play these games, the fact that he is wearing a jersey, the fact that he is training with the team, for that alone, Alisson deserves something else. And if he didn't do that, that doesn't mean that he's not a strong person, but he is exceptionally strong. And every time Alisson makes a mistake as Premier League fans, I don't care if it's about Manchester United or if you want to get a top 4 spot ahead of Liverpool, just pray for Alisson because, football is one thing, but mental health and family issues are way bigger. So let's not criticize Alisson. If Alisson makes a mistake, say it's a mistake, and that's it. Let's not do the he's better than this person and comment under his post and bully him and troll him. Even if it's banter, I think there's a time and place for it, and I think it's probably the worst time to bully Alisson. So Alisson is world class and he is exceptional. And as a football fan and as a human being, I hope he gets back to his best because he is one of the best in the world.
He will. I actually think he will come out better than what he was. Because when people get out of such a dark place, they have that mental strength, that mental edge, which makes them unstoppable. You've seen Jesse Lingard, what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
He is unstoppable.
You've seen Ritvik talk about his ex and how he has that mental edge now.
I'm unstoppable.
Yes. Excellent work.
You guys.
That's a fantastic segue because it was getting very deep, and then we talked about exes, and that's the situation. What can I even say? Adi?
I just want to quickly say that we're not worried about the Premier League as Liverpool fans because we're in the Champions League this year. So anyway.
Are you serious?
No, I'm joking. Okay, where close Liverpool chapter.
Go put on your Madrid jersey, man. Go put on.
Ready for Madrid. We're closing Liverpool chapter. We have 2 City fans here, so I want to talk about the Leeds game. What a game! Okay, first of all, hats off to Leeds. Brilliant tactically. They were very good. You don't usually see them defending so deep because they're such a gung ho football team. City on the other hand, I want to get both of your reactions to this. Your team, this starting 11, it's your second string side completely, but it's a second string side that is a first 11 for every other Premier League team. Do you guys still think you should have won this game absolutely clear, especially with an entire second half with 10 men? Ritvik, you first.
Absolutely. I mean, it was typical City, as we say. We don't finish our chances. We had 24 chances on goal. And this is what costs us games, costs us big games, costs us Champions League so many times. But at the end of the day, it's, I think a little bit of complacency came into the factor with this squad that was there. I think the mind was on Madrid, on Dortmund. And just when things don't click, when confidence isn't there, it's very tough to get something out of nothing. And the players that do get that edge, that something out of nothing, were on the bench in Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. Even when Phil Foden came on, I didn't see him making that effort because he was just hugging the left line, which I didn't understand, which was, I think, a big mistake by Pep. He should have made Foden the center of every attack going forward, because those fresh legs and that confidence that he had would have played a crucial factor. But yeah, at the end of the day, again, it is one of those games where Pep wanted to probably try out things, try out, different combinations of forward players and different plays, which he did, which don't pay off. I don't think it's gonna hamper our confidence going into the game tomorrow. I feel actually it's gonna make it even better for us, because a defeat obviously, makes you think what went wrong and gives you that mental strength to bounce back, which is also typical City, which we do. And yeah, and if there's one manager I want to lose to and one team City I would be satisfied with losing to, is Marcelo Bielsa and Leeds, because man, I just love that team. I love his murder ball. I love his players. Every one of his team is such a hard worker. I don't know, man. It's just, I want Leeds to soar high and just reach those top of the Premier League and be back. Marcelo Bielsa, man, shout out to him. What a player. Shri, I've said enough.
I mean, as City fans, we've been very blessed. So, I mean, I saw some things on the timeline, Twitter. If you're not aware of the term timeline because you're not on Twitter, yeah, I mean, I wasn't sad at all. I'll be honest. I mean, we have had a dream season. We are on course for a 90-point season. We're losing our fourth game. We've been super dominant. We're in all competitions. You've lost a game. So what? It's okay. Like, it happens. They're human beings. I don't like to I never like to talk intangibles or make assumptions. I don't know if they actually put an effort or not. So I would not say Phil Foden wasn't putting in effort. I won't say that. Like, he just could not have an impact on the game. Came on as a sub. Fair enough. It's okay. It happens. And yeah, we won the first leg of the Champions League fixture against Borussia Dortmund. I don't know why there is so much doom and gloom, which is why this is the last of our talking points. So it was like the City of old, in a sense, where we sort of spam the Leeds box with a billion crosses and this and that, and we can't create a single chance. I mean, we are creating chances, but they're pot shots, but that's the situation. Sometimes it does happen, and it's not really a big deal. So when Leeds scored, I was disappointed, yes, but then I forgot about it like a minute later. It's okay, it happens sometimes. The human beings, they're not machines, and I'm actually happy we lost, just like I was happy when we lost to United, so that we know what losing is like. When you play in the Champions League, like, when people bow out of the Champions League, it's very harsh because a free kick could sort of buy you out, a penalty, a bad decision, etc., etc. So to actually experience that will probably, spur you on when you play big sides like Borussia Dortmund, or if we play in the semi-finals and so on and so forth. So I wasn't disappointed, and shout out to Leeds. I actually think that the red card was a blessing in disguise because they could actually play on the counter. I don't know why they don't do that more often. They have such a fast-paced attack, and yeah, shout out to Diego Llorente and Calvin Phillips, who played as those additional centre halves. Absolutely amazing.
Stuart Dallas.
Stuart Dallas, of course, man.
FPL
The guy
legend.
can do anything. FPL legend and a Swiss Army knife. So shout out to them. And yeah, Anamaya, a fellow City fan, says the same thing. 29 shots, a billion crosses, the same thing as I said. Being caught against the Ramu play to lose spectacularly. Peak 2019-20. Exactly. That's what City did last season. Created a bundle of chances. Didn't take them. But it happened. City have been super clinical and great defensively. So come on, man. It happens. We tried some new things like Zinchenko playing in midfield. Ferran Torres played and he actually did get a goal. So Benjamin Mendy, Nathan Ake starting after ages. So sometimes things happen, man. Even John Stones was playing as a number 10, if anyone watched that game, which was sensational. So it is what it is, man. It happens. And yeah, just still, man, happy days. We're winning the league. It's okay.
Yeah, I just want to take some comments quickly, and then we move into the final segment of the show, which is discussing the top four. Okay, Ishan Tucker says, "Go Chawla." AC's got some fans in the house. Okay, Anubhav Sarkar. Okay, Srini, this one's for you. He says, "Kelechi Iheanacho on fire." Srini, what are your thoughts on him? If you haven't covered it already, we haven't. Srini, go.
Kelechi Iheanacho on fire. Yeah, man, he scored a brace. I actually switched off the TV because I thought the game was done and dusted. But Kelechi Iheanacho, just he's having such a purple patch. And it's not actually just a purple patch. Kelechi Iheanacho was a big prospect. He is a really, really talented striker. Like, he scored in the Manchester derby as well, Arnav would remember. He was very clinical, always very good on the ball. And it's not always easy to play in a 4-4-2 when the system is geared towards Jamie Vardy. Like that system is geared towards Jamie Vardy. That's why backups never work at Leicester. They just tend not to, like Slimani, for example. So Kelechi Iheanacho is doing, yeah, even Perez, for example. Kelechi Iheanacho is doing so well. The spaces he's finding, he's basically doing everything we expected him to do. And he's one of those footballers that you just can't hate. You saw his Mother's Day like post-match speech and all that. He's the nicest guy in the world. He's a very, very talented striker, and it's just another reminder to us fans that how old is Kelechi Iheanacho? Must be 23, 24?
23, I think, not more than 23, 24. Yeah.
Yeah, in footballing terms, sure, that's a little, not old, but whatever, like you have to start delivering. But in life terms, that's nothing. We're around 23, 24 years old. We're kids, let's be honest. Like our lives revolve around watching football. So I think as fans, we tend to be very harsh and just have a very black and white take on things where, oh, Kelechi Iheanacho, he's finished. And Jesse Lingard, he's done, he's dusted. Like it doesn't work like that. They are working super hard because they don't want to embarrass themselves in front of like millions and billions of people. And someone like Iheanacho is not an absolute mug. He's a very, very talented striker. And you're sort of seeing what you would expect from a very talented young striker, which is goals in the Premier League. So fair play to him. And he's actually, to me, he's actually low-key Leicester's MVP, even more than Jamie Vardy right now. He's outperforming him, let's be honest. Yeah. So shout out to Kelechi Iheanacho, man. Absolute baller. So that's my take.
Okay, quick, just 2-3 more comments before we move finally. He says this Trent debate should be in the next 60-second debate. Well, yes,
noted.
Yeah, noted. We're going to try and incorporate that. Stay tuned for amazing stuff on this channel and make sure you've subscribed. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed,
subscribe right now.
Yeah, we don't want to abuse you on online. If you're not
subscribe right now. You literally just subscribe. That's all you should do.
Jota hat trick midweek, inshallah, man. Let's hope. Anubhav Sarkar says, is it not possible to use Trent as a right-side midfielder? Maybe not yet, but hopefully Gerrard 2.0. Okay, anyway, guys, final segment. Top 4. I'm going to go to Srini first. Tell me who's going to be your top 4 and why.
Actually, go to Arnav and Ritvik first because I don't think about the top 4. Now I'm winning the league, so I don't think about these kinds of lowly things anymore. So I actually have I don't even look at the table. I actually have no idea. So Ritvik,
going by that logic, Adi's got to be the first person to answer.
Yeah.
Calculations and everything.
No, we've secured top 4. We're done. We've gone clear. You have to talk.
Yeah, we've got second on lock. So you
done. Finished.
I love my co-hosts, guys. These guys have sussed me, but okay, I'll go first. Are Liverpool going to get top 4? I think so. Yes, we're going to grind it out. We have a very easy run. Only United left, I think, which is away from home. Don't care whether we win, lose. That makes no difference to me as long as we get top 4. West Ham. Do I think they're going to make it? I don't think so, man. I mean, I said it might be a safe bet. That's dependent on Liverpool. Chelsea, on the other hand. Chelsea, we haven't covered that game, by the way. Huge shout out to them. Thomas Tuchel doing a madness in the Premier League. Kai Havertz, what a performance. Finally, goal assist. Should have scored a hat trick. Missed easy chances, but anyway, that's for another day. Between Leicester, Chelsea, Liverpool, and West Ham, I think it's going to be. I want to go and say Chelsea, Liverpool, man. I think Leicester.
Sorry to interrupt you, Adi. Would you also consider Everton, who have a couple of games in hand, to be in the top 4?
I wouldn't. I know they have 2 games in hand, but I don't consider Everton.
And if they win that, they're above you.
Knowing Everton, we know that they're not going to win that. They're probably going to bottle it. They're not in hot form, so I wouldn't really be worried about them. Arnav, to you. For me, it's Chelsea, Liverpool.
Just list your top 4 in order, please.
My top 4 is City. Sadly, I don't know how they won the league. United. I don't even know how United are second, but anyway. Then I think it's going to be Chelsea and Liverpool 4th on goal difference. I'm going to say Liverpool on goal difference.
Right now, for me, I think Everton, Spurs out of it completely. Chelsea have probably got the hardest fixtures. They've got to play City. They've got to play Arsenal and
West Ham.
So that's going to be a cracking fixture. But yeah, hardest fixtures for Chelsea. They're also going to be involved in Europe. I think they're pretty much in the semi-finals already. So I think Chelsea are going to miss out. Chelsea out, Spurs out, Everton out, Leicester are going to bottle it. They have a good run right now, 3 or 4 weeks. For anybody who plays FPL, Kelechi Iheanacho should be on your radar. Good set of fixtures right now. But last three games, I think they've got they've got United, Tottenham, Chelsea, something like that. So I think they're going to bottle it. So I'm going to go City to win it, United second, West Ham third, Liverpool fourth. Right,
Ritvik, go.
Oh man, I think I agree with Arnav on this completely. Same city, Manchester, same opinion. Yeah, I feel so. Everton, as he said, are more or less out of it just because of their fixtures. They have to face Spurs, Arsenal, West Ham, and City out of the 8 fixtures they have, and it doesn't look. Yeah, it's not happening for them. Leicester, I feel, will bottle it, but I think they might be able to secure 5th place. It's going to be very close between them and Chelsea, I think, just because both of them have tough fixtures, and Chelsea might want to focus on the Champions League. So that's going to be interesting. I think West Ham are in that purple patch. I don't care if they don't have Cresswell, if they don't have Rice, if they don't have Antonio. You see them winning. You see they're playing well, and that man, my man, is going to get goals for them. And yeah, I think West Ham are third, and Liverpool are going to manage fourth because they have the easiest fixture. They don't have anything to play for. They're going out tomorrow, day after, whatever. And yeah, Spurs, Spurs aren't even in Europa. That's it. That's my top 4. So my top 4 is City, United, West Ham, and Liverpool. And Chelsea, that's it. Yeah.
Srini,
got anything to add?
Yeah, of course, man. I have to give my top 4 also. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. So I think City may win the league. So yeah, I think that may happen. City are going to win the league. Yeah, I think, man. I don't know. It's kind of close actually.
You know, they could actually blow it. If you think about it, United win their game in hand. It's 8 points with 6 games to go. I mean,
that's 2011 happen.
Yeah, but the only difference is that City had a game against United, so that's a potential 6-pointer.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I'm going to be serious for a second. I'll try to. City are going to win the league. Of course, Manchester United to finish second. Credit to Oli, by the way. Before United fans get at us, he's been brilliant. I've always said it. And everyone knows that I have always said it. He's really good. I really rate him. Yeah, I kind of agree with him.
This is an only prop channel from now on.
Oh God, let's not. Anubhav says, so confident about Liverpool, everyone. Wow. Yeah, I don't know about Liverpool, man. Like I'm making so Chelsea is third for me. I think Chelsea, even though they have those fixtures, Chelsea will lose to City, I think. But then they'll beat Arsenal because Arsenal are bottle jobs, and they'll beat West Ham, I think. And I just think Chelsea are the most stable team. Like they're the safest team to bet on because they get these boring wins. They don't even grind wins out. They just have the ball so much. They tend to score 1 or 2 goals and they just win those games. So, and West Ham are bound to drop. I just think that there's going to be one game where they lose. And by one game, I mean two or three where they drop points because, of course, they don't have Cresswell. They don't have Declan Rice. So I think it's just bound to happen. Fourth is where I'm very confused because I don't know. I just don't get a great feeling from Liverpool. I don't know what it is with Liverpool. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I know this is not amazing TV right now. For me, I'm actually just thinking out loud. Forget it. I'll just go for West Ham to finish fourth. Oh my God, no. Liverpool, West Ham. I'll just go for Liverpool. Why not? Safe bet. But I'd love to see West Ham make it. But then I just think Liverpool will do it because of experience and because they're going to be out of the Champions League. So my top 4 is City, United, Chelsea, and Liverpool, and Everton and Spurs. Though forget Everton and Spurs. Let's not even talk about them. They do what they always do. So let's not even talk about them.
Ashrat with an interesting comment here. Shout out to my fellow Liverpool, fellow Scouser. He says our record against the bottom half teams is ... Yes, that sums it up perfectly. It is for me to say Liverpool is going like on a wing. It's not a sure shot. Even though we have the easiest run of fixtures, I would actually rather play some of the top half teams because we're probably better against them rather than the bottom half. We've dropped points against likes of, Fulham, Sheffield United. It's been unreal what we've done this season. So not confident, but just hopeful. I think that's the way to sum it up. Anything else to round up, guys, or should we wrap?
Guys, there is one question, and I commented using the official MTAG handle because I think it was a very interesting question from Anubhav. Anubhav asked, and Anubhav, this was a very good question, so I'm going to show it on screen. Anubhav says, who can give the best halftime team talk on the panel? So let's do this. Obviously, there's no way to judge that. We won't do a Shah Rukh Khan right now. So I'll ask everyone, obviously we have no idea who does it. Let's be honest. But what do you guys think? I'll go to Ritvik for this one. If you had to vote for someone, who would you go for?
So I can't consider myself as a favorite.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay. So among the three of you, let me think about it. So halftime team talk. Are we assuming that we're losing, or are we assuming the game is?
It's a halftime team talk, and it's supposed to be great. That's it. Yeah. So what do you think?
I'd go for my boy Arnav over here because I've played a lot with him. I've been playing with him for 7, 8, 9 years, whatever, and we've been in many half times together. We've been losing together. We've won together. We've had those moments where we've stepped up. अबे है यार, it is क्या करूँ मैं, क्या बोलूँ और
सही बात है, ठीक है, मतलब this is.
So I've played with him so much. I still play with him. Yeah, so he's given many team talks. He was the captain in his 12th grade, so he's a leader. So yeah, him.
Arnav, are you gonna say the same for Ritvik?
See, if I could, I'd pick myself, but if I can't, then yeah, I'm gonna go with Ritvik because I've been around him and I've seen him do the talking and I've seen his leadership qualities. So I think I think he'll do well. He'll do well as a talker, as a motivator. Plus, I don't. Yeah, so I've not really had a lot of this thing. Adi, I've still had conversations with him, but Adi, I feel like is very, if I were to go with tactics, let me put it this way: if I were to discuss tactics at halftime, I'd pick you both, Adi and Srini, because I think you guys are more calmer. Maybe it comes with age or what. You guys are more mature. You guys
age comes with age.
I think me and Ritvik are like really reactive, and we'd be like fuming at halftime if we're down. So I think we could be like the passion merchants, giving the alley in the documentary, just fucking passing and long ball and defending all of that. And for tactics, if we had someone who talks sense, actually lay out a plan, I'd go to Srini and Adi for that.
Adi, you can't pick these guys, so I think you have to go for me.
Srini, and I'll tell you why. Because when Srini starts talking, he doesn't stop. So the players are going to be like, "Bhai, isko chup karao. We want to get back on the pitch." So it's going to work in your favor. Srini, who do you go for?
The thing is, I think Arnav's got it a little spot on in the sense that I don't tend to get very angry in general. I don't have a short temper, so there's that. And I just tend to be quite positive in the sense that I always believe that we'll win. So that's why I'd probably give a decent team talk, I think. But I'll go for Adi just because he'll sort of calm everyone down. Because Adi, obviously, when Adi bigged me up right now, उसने मेरी बेइज्जती की, but मैं ऐसा नहीं करूँगा. Adi will calm everyone down and he'll just, give some perspective and all of that. I think Ritvik is all heart and passion, and I don't know why I get serious right back vibes from Arnav. I don't know why.
Dude, he's a right back. He's a right back. He plays right back.
I get serious right backs vibes from Arnav. I don't know he's a DM. He's a DM, but Ritvik just seems like someone who just likes to run and get involved. Like that's all he likes to do. He just wants to get.
Just for the record, I am a right back. Like, I like to play striker. I think of myself as a striker, but yeah, right back is where I've played like majority of my school and college years. I really don't know how you've done that, Srini.
I'm telling you, it's a vibe thing because whatever position you play, goes with your personality. So like Ritvik must love playing in the rain. I hate playing in the rain, for example.
Yeah, man, I love slide tackles in the rain, bro.
I not play in the rain.
The only thing I could think about watching the El Clasico was like playing in the rain.
That's my favorite conversation.
Guys, this is a Premier League review, and this conversation is but good battle between the boys as usual.
Let our fans get to know us.
Yeah, they want to know us personally. I hope Ronaldo is watching this. Ronaldo 1, 2, 3.
Shout out Ronaldo 1, 2, 3. Okay, Srini, I think we're just about wrapped up. Do you want to get us finally signed off?
Sure. I'm very proud of that.
One second. Our fellow teammate from RKP, Ashut Talwar, is saying, "Abhi Arnav bolega, I'm a striker now."
I am. I've got movement like Cavani, finishing like I don't want to take Son's name. So
and confidence like Fabian Delph.
Confidence like Fabian Delph. And on that note, since we've talked about Fabian Delph at 12:49 a.m., wow, this is fun. Let's wrap things up, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. There were so many comments. We really appreciate that. You guys are still watching. I mean, I'm surprised because this has been a pretty elite live session. But still, yeah, it's it was an absolute pleasure doing this. And guys, of course, subscribe to the channel right now if you want content like this. We're gonna do lives for the UCLs as well. There's new content dropping. There's a new video out tomorrow, so there's that as well. So look forward to that. Of course, subscribe. Check out the MTAG website. It is in the link in the description below. Finally got that right. Follow us on IG, Twitter, Facebook as well. Although I'll be honest, I don't even use Facebook anymore. Facebook is dusted. But yeah, man, follow us everywhere. And yeah, if you like such lives, let us know, show us love, and yeah, we move.